Hey everyone, we should be live. Welcome back to the Little Shy livestream reviews. It's so many words, so little time to say because it's the last season, guys.
Finally.
Yeah.
What do you mean finally?
No.
Finally.
So yes, we are back to review season 9, beginning with the beginning of the end, parts 1 and 2. What did you guys think?
It was incredible.
A good start. A good start.
I
to
honestly,
final season.
The pandering was kind of annoying.
Wait. Did Draconite have a counterpoint there?
I didn't find any of it to be believable, personally.
Really?
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I want to point out, I think everyone except for Draconite has seen this when it was live. We are recording and going live now at a later date because I was at a meetup and all that. But anyway, Draconite's the only one here with a true first impression. So I want to hear his opinion.
Okay, so for me, when I was watching the rest of MLP, like the premieres and finales, the epic ones, I enjoyed them a lot. But this one just felt so rushed to the point that that none of it was believable. Like, just some pony suddenly being able to take away the enemies from Tartarus, which was inescapable and inenterable, or inescapable. And then we had the Sombra being defeated just in a snap. Oh, but then also before that, he just was able to take over Cadence and Shining Armor. It was just, it felt so railroaded to the point that none of it was believable.
Wait, so Sombra specifically, you thought he had like too much power or something?
I
like the way they handled the situation of how
He
Sombra
was-
was going to take over. You're saying that it could have been done better, something like that.
yeah,
he was way too overpowered.
the way, like, when he was taking over, it didn't seem believable that he was able to take over so easily. But then when he was defeated by the Crystal Heart the first time was it the end of episode 1 or was it the end of the beginning of episode 2?
Season 3.
No, I mean this episode, this premiere.
Oh.
Was it episode 1 or 2? Where he was
1.
defeated the first time.
It was
He
fire.
was, yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it was
like that's
so-
why I got like.
So I
talking
think
about
I think we should step back for a moment and try to explain what the heck was this two-parter episode even about? Because I'm starting off with problems. I have lots of good stuff to say about this episode. I loved it, but starting off with some problems, it felt like they crammed a lot into this, and it's actually hard to go
Oh
through.
yeah,
it all.
it's like,
Agree.
well, with the
It's
show
final
ending, they have
season,
to
we gotta-
throw out
yeah.
all. They got to
Yeah,
throw
we're
all the
going all out,
references. Like,
people.
remember that? Let's bring all the
Yeah.
villains back. It's like, remember that, remember that, remember that. That happened.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an inherent preference thing when you bring back a bunch of villains like this. I think it kind of like makes them all seem less powerful. It's like, oh, they're just the villains. There's not like the villain, you know. And when there's just a
Yeah.
bunch of them, it works in some shows, and I'm not saying it doesn't work here, but usually it can't take itself too seriously. And this is more of a serious episode for better and for worse, I think, right?
There wasn't that many laughs.
There were some laughs. I actually do have a couple written down. There were some
Yes,
good jokes in
small
here.
laughs, but they're going serious because it's like
Yeah, the little
it's
Philly
the
was
final-
pretty
it's like
funny.
the final season or whatnot.
Yeah, if they're gonna have a big epic premiere finale sort of situation and then normal episodes in the middle, I'm okay with that. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty much used to every starting season being like some life or death situation type stakes.
Yeah.
But this right here
Yeah.
was just kind of. This right here was just kind of annoying.
Well, I think the reason you might find it annoying is because there are so many. The stakes are so high, but also there's multiple. You know, like Ponyville was in danger
Yeah.
of the vines, and then you have Sombra taking over at the time Canterlot, and at another time the Crystal
Yeah.
Empire, and like
Then there's like
the Tree of Harmony being destroyed.
a
or
conflict
whatnot.
between
Yeah.
Sombra taking control of all their friends having to fight, which could have been way cooler.
yeah, and big
Yeah.
spoiler. I mean, you shouldn't be watching this review if you don't want to see spoilers, but like he destroys the tree, right? So the elements are destroyed.
Yeah,
And it
all the-
feels
all the
like-
elements of her.
It feels like when the
Immediately.
writers came up with that idea, they're like, okay, we should do this. Then they realized, oh, but wait, wouldn't that mean the forest is going to invade? We better have that in there too. Like, it was kind of just
Yeah.
thrown
Yeah,
in.
it's like, it's like the show has
Yeah.
too much lore.
And I guess that's why. That is why the show's coming to an end. Is it's getting too complicated.
Yeah.
It's getting too stupid.
No,
it
it's not-
wasn't
I don't-
stupid.
I wouldn't call it
I don't
stupid.
think it's too stupid. It's
No.
just that
It's too much.
I think this is a good example of how to handle so many things because previous episodes, especially premieres and finales, has a bunch of stuff crammed into it like this. But usually it's bad. It's just way too rushed. Like season 3 finale is obviously a great example because it was one episode. And
At least I
here,
understand the motive.
I thought the pacing was a lot better here than other premiere finale sort of situations.
yeah.
Interesting.
I
I'm
agree.
the opposite. I
What
like
about the new
I
villain?
like this one.
I have a gripe.
Oh.
So with the element smashing, why didn't they just do the thing in the very second episode that they did in the second episode of the entire show?
They do. Discord
with
helps them
our-
realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't do it first off, because they did it first off when Luna.
It's true.
Well, apparently they didn't have the confidence in him to do it.
That is a fair gripe. It is like they're relearning stuff, which is funny because this episode has a lot of meta references to relearning and Celestia and Luna don't do anything. Oh, and Discord knows this, and like there's a lot of self-referential humor in here, which I don't know how I feel. On the one hand, it's
That
kind of
annoys
funny.
me.
It is. Yeah. On the other hand, it is annoying. I don't know.
It annoys me because they realized the
very
problems, and yet why didn't we? Or I don't know. Why didn't they do any of that? Why didn't they bring any of that up when it first happened?
I think-
it annoys me because it retcons other episodes.
Yeah,
To be
they've been doing
fair,
this for years,
I'm
and
trying to
they
keep some balance here. We've been pretty negative so far, but I want to go on record and say I like the episode, and also a big positive in terms of listening to like fandom feedback. Almost, Sombra was a meme of how horrible of a villain he was and how he didn't have any lines. And here he actually has a personality, which I think is a big plus.
I liked that. That was good. Yeah.
I don't like how they changed his voice though. I mean, I sort of
I mean,
understand
I-
because
my
I mean,
complaint, too.
I guess it is
Yeah,
hard
but-
to have like a bunch of conversations when he's just with that little filter over him from like season 3.
I like his new voice. The problem is I just hear Flutter Guy is all I hear.
I don't know.
I
He's
didn't
just
hear
like
that, but yeah.
to me, he's just like he's just like, I know this is gonna sound weird. He's like that generic cartoon villain. It's like, I'm going to take over this place,
And that's kind of what he's supposed to be. So
That's true.
the
yeah.
fact that he has
I
any
see more of
personality at
that.
all.
Characterization.
I know,
Well,
but
I
I see that personality more coming from Discord than Sombra.
Well, I think the ending part of when King Summer dies, I thought that was a little too intense, but him just being shredded apart, I was just like, oh, this is a
I mean,
show
I thought it was
for
kind of
kids.
cool.
It's
I saw
fine.
that.
I don't feel so good.
I felt that I was thinking of that part from Indiana Jones where that guy's face melted.
So all right,
Oh,
we'll,
yeah.
we'll get to the face melting in a moment because that was great. But how do we feel about Grogar, however you say his name?
I like
I mean,
it.
It's
potential.
potential, but I don't know. I feel like it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really
I
didn't
hate
like
it.
the design much because it's like, it's just
I
like a
mean-
mountain goat.
It's
I find it
foreshadowing.
annoying.
Thanos.
It's all foreshadowing for future episodes in the finale. Like
I
we,
find it.
I
If
feel
they
like
give
find
it like an
annoying.
Ultra Super Saiyan, like like ultimate final form, like they did with
It's
T-Rex
like
or something like
Thanos.
that.
this
No,
was
it's a-
Sombra's episode.
I
Yeah,
find it
Sombra.
annoying just because
I look forward to seeing. Oh, sorry.
Seeing
No,
what?
Okay. Okay, you go
I look-
ahead.
Oh,
I was gonna say I look forward to seeing him only in the season finale.
no, actually, well, spoilers. We do see him again, but we won't talk about that.
Okay.
I just
Yeah.
find it annoying is that all the characters kind of pretty much knew who he was, and then like we're in the 8th season.
No, only Cozy Glow doesn't
Like,
know who he is. So.
I know,
Only-
but
I
that's
think
Cozy Glow,
only-
he's a kid.
Only T-Rex know who he was from old legends or
I
whatever.
know, but
they established
it
that.
annoys me because whenever there's like a super big villain like this who just pops out of nowhere, and we're in like the 9th season,
Yeah,
it
I
just
agree.
kind of feels annoying when they just bring it up out of nowhere like that. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, you're that one guy who was vanished years ago. Here, wait, who is he? Here's his entire backstory.
I do-
Like,
Well,
what?
I-
Wait, no.
I
Wait, they mentioned
kind
Grogar.
of agree, but I mean, it's like he literally says like I think
mean,
like
they never-
They hint
every
at
single
Grogar, yeah.
pony every pony's like forgetting about him, like because
You and I
like, it's
first
like, it
saw-
was like what?
Who I first thought it was, who I thought it was before like the dramatic reveal, I thought it would be T-Rex brother.
Oh yeah. What Scorpion?
That would have
right?
been good. Is like brother. What have
I
you
thought
done?
T-Rex-
Well, I don't think it was the brother.
Yeah,
though,
his brother
because-
was nice,
That-
and I was
okay,
thinking
so
about that.
That's
Yeah,
the problem.
exactly.
There is so much potential for stories here because the show has established and even just hinted at so many different characters, so many different plots. And again,
No, it's a new one.
the more we complain about this, the more confident Hasbro is in ending the show.
I'm glad
Yeah.
it's ending. Go for it.
Get out, Tootsie.
How
Oh,
dare
no.
you?
Yeah, Tuts.
Go
I'm
to
sorry.
the Philly Fantasia group.
I do
Oh,
agree though.
Lord, at least it has better writing than this.
I would. Okay, hold on. So you don't like the writing in this episode?
It was very. How do I put this? It was convoluted. It was just kind of annoying because most of it just felt like, oh, remember that? Oh,
So-
that happened.
I-
Besides-
That was the only part that annoyed me.
Well,
Besides, so you're talking about the cramming stuff into the episode aspect, or is there something
that,
else?
That annoyed me.
Okay, 'cause I want you to be
Cramming everything
specific.
Into the episode.
If you're
I
saying
think
Philly
Everything
Fantasia
into
has
this
better
episode
writing, you
just
better be
annoyed
specific.
me the most.
yeah.
I have a
First of
specific
all, that's only
example.
because.
Yeah.
No, first of all, that right there had something to do with something else, but I don't know. My Little Pony. It just seems like remember that happened.
Okay, well, this is a big point I have written down, is that it's not really for newcomers. You have to have been following the show for years and understand those hints for most of this to make sense.
Yeah,
I mean, kids will be
exactly.
like, "Who's that guy?" Who's
Yeah,
that
well,
guy?"
what's interesting though is kids might not even care, but So it's written for bronies, which is kind of cool, right? Like we should be
That's
happy about that.
Yeah, because you know
least
it
they didn't
really
throw
started
Darby
out
in
with
there
just
last
like it's a
minute.
show for the girls. So I mean,
Yeah,
now
this
that
wasn't
they
an
that
episode for
fan base-
this wasn't for the target demographic. This was for the lore followers, us.
And also,
Which
it's
I'm
called
all
the beginning of
I'm
the
all
end.
for.
If you're starting the show,
I'm
you're
all
not going
for-
to watch the beginning of the end.
I'm all for episodes that are just like targeting towards like not the fandom, but people who've been with the show forever.
Continuity.
Yeah, I'm all for that, but here it just
Uh-huh.
seemed kind of crammed. It's the best way I can describe this episode is just crammed.
I agree,
Like,
but
Like
I want to.
like there is a lot. There's a lot of stuff I liked about it.
Yeah, I want to go on record and say I agree with the whole. It was crammed with way too much stuff going on. Like they should have just focused. Oh, by the way, I have the screenshot of Sombra melting up. They should have just focused on just Sombra or just Grogar. Yeah, I understand why they didn't on him. But anyway, yeah, too much stuff in one episode. But with that in mind, it was a good episode. I think. Would you agree?
There
I
was
mean,
one thing though that didn't make sense. Another thing that didn't make sense, like when the Everfree Forest was taking over the town, like just in the pony's perspective, they're like, okay, Sombra is attacking the entirety of Equestria. Oh no, the Everfree Forest's vines are gonna attack the town. Okay, let's stop.
That
Then
bothered me too.
Several hours.
Yeah.
I think
fighting
it would have been
far.
funny if after Sombra. Sorry, go ahead.
That was it. Like
Yeah, they-
wasting time.
The vines, Ponyville being overtaken by Everfree should have been mentioned, of course, as it was, but they shouldn't have dedicated so much time, and they shouldn't have required both princesses to be there. Maybe if just Starswirl came up and saved the day there, I don't know. They had to get rid of the princesses so Twilight could have her moment. I understand, but that's the sort of
Yeah.
contrivance which does bother me. That's my pet peeve.
How about a way of how to fix this? How to fix it? 'Cause
Well,
I
okay,
think
we
it
have to
would
be
have been-
careful how.
No, I
yeah,
mean
we have
fix,
to be
I mean,
careful
like,
inserting
better
fan
ways that
fiction.
could have been improved.
Yeah.
Like
also, for that
one
matter-
suggestion I do have is that what if after Sombra destroyed the tree, he was confused. I was like, "What is this? Why are all these vines attacking? What's going on?"
Yeah, I don't know. That's another option that they could have added. That would have just crammed more stuff into the episode. So it's good that they trimmed some of the fat, even if there are little things here and there like, I don't know about that. But me personally, there wasn't anything that broke the episode for me, which sometimes happens in the show. For it's like, oh, that happened. Now I can't enjoy the episode. It ruined the whole thing. And as
Yeah.
nitpicky and
Remember the
horrible as
Storm
I
King?
am, that didn't happen to me.
Mhm.
All right, let me.
I
So
mean,
I gotta
also
mention
the-
a big positive. Were all the faces in this episode?
The
They
face
were
is
very
beautiful.
Are they giving us meme faces on purpose at this point, or what?
Probably.
I gotta find one. Oh, there's
It's
Twilight.
towards the brony, so I mean,
Oh yeah, I do want to bring up that the death scene. First of all, when Discord's literally just being shot at and he's defending everything, that pretty like whenever there's a dramatic shot death scene like that, I'm just like, yeah, no, you can't do that. You can't just have one scene where it's just like he's dodging all this stuff, not even caring. Then all of a sudden he just gets shot and you're trying to fake us out with him dying. Like, no, that doesn't work.
Well, see, my reasoning as I saw it live was that he was talking. He got cocky. He got overconfident, and he missed one of the hits. That was
He
what
was
I was thinking at the time.
well, that's
Yeah.
because Sombra. I think it was like he was trying to aim at Fluttershy, if I remember right.
Oh yeah,
And,
yeah.
Of course,
And he stopped
cares
him, yeah.
about Fluttershy, so he's like,
I know,
gotta
but he
see-
literally just played that up, just like I'm gonna die. And I will admit that speech was the best part of the whole show.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
remember thinking at the time, watching it live, while Discord was laying down, that death scene. Obviously, we knew he wasn't going to die, but that death scene, I was thinking, okay, if this isn't a fake out, it is now my headcanon that this is a fake out. And then it became a fake out. So they gave me what I wanted.
It's very obvious, yeah.
It would have been really ballsy if they killed him off.
Yeah,
That would've
I
been
don't know.
funny. He just starts disintegrating Infinity.
Oh
War.
no.
I don't
It's
feel
like,
so
oh
good.
no, he has like evil dimensional magic where I can't like come back. Bye.
Yeah, like I knew he was acting. Like it was very obvious, I think, because he's Discord.
Well-
If he was able to so easily block the blast with his magic, there's no way he would be.
Thank you.
Yes, but we didn't know if they were going to actually be transparent about that. Like maybe he was just going to stay tired for the rest of the episode and never tell us that he was faking. That's why I thought, okay,
Right.
it's my headcanon that he is.
Oh my god, that picture of Sombra melting is
I know.
so graphic.
I love it.
Should we? I wonder if that came after the Mean Six episode where there was controversy about the leaked episode being less like more graphic, and then they censored it. So this one they just went all out with. I don't know.
I mean, it's the final season. Most shows do that. Like Gravity Falls, they did. They went
Yeah.
out with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I have another thing written down. I want to go through my notes. Twilight says we can't take any chances. We have to do whatever it takes. And yet the crux of the episode is that she doesn't tell Celestia. So I guess that's not whatever it takes. I didn't get that.
Yeah, I don't know. Just didn't seem believable to me in general.
Yeah, there were a lot of little things like that. But again, I don't know. Just as far as entertainment value goes, I rank this one pretty high personally.
Okay.
Any last remarks
I mean,
before we
from
jump
the
in?
last-
Okay.
I mean, this episode was better than the previous finale or the previous thing.
Oh, definitely. I definitely like this was better than most of season 8 in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I compare the episode to like the last episode, so it's better.
That's why I hated season 8. Like,
You're glitching out, Sonic, by the way.
Yeah, you're glitching out, Sonic.
We can't hear you.
So it's worth mentioning Joanna Lewis and Christine Sonko were the writers of this episode, and I wonder
They
maybe.
did awesome.
Yeah, I agree. They're good writers, and I wonder if they're the story editors for the season. If so,
I swear to God, if it's not those two, and if it's like someone like Haver or Bogle, I'm gonna be really angry.
I won't be angry. I'll just be disappointed.
Sonic, your voice is. You need to leave the call. And
You
come
might want to
back. That
reset
might
your
fix
router
it.
or something, but yeah,
are you sure?
yeah, it's not
Yes,
working out.
leave it and come back.
So, any last remarks before we jump into individual ratings and reviews?
Nope.
Not really.
It was
It was
great.
convoluted.
It kind
Well,
of felt
we'll,
like
we'll
it
get
was
to your
a
rant.
I don't really have a rant.
You get 2 minutes to rant when it's your turn.
dream.
I don't really have a rant.
By the way, we
Already got
still hear
everything
you,
out.
Sonic. But all right, so we ready to jump in? All right, let's begin with Draconite. What did you think, Draconite?
All right, so I mentioned this a couple times, but the entire episode didn't feel believable. It kind of felt like it was just going to be a dream the whole time. It was kind of arranged in the way that it felt like it could have been like Twilight's nightmare or something. And then she wakes up and she's like, "Oh no, it's all good. I'm just where I am now." And normally I really like the MLP episodes. Like you might remember that I usually rate them really highly, but this one I just didn't really enjoy. It just didn't feel genuine. Like none of the major events to me seemed to be something that I would. It doesn't seem to tie into the rest of the MLP franchise. So, like, just the enjoyability factor, I would just really give it like a 4. Believability, enjoyability. I normally liked the premieres and endings, but not really this one.
Wait, like a 4 out of 10, or are you trying to go for like a 4 out of 10, a 5?
Out of
I
10.
think, yeah, we usually do out of
Wow,
10.
even
All
I
right.
think that's too low.
Well, it's good to have some balance.
I
But
didn't
anyway,
enjoy it.
thanks, Draconite. Drummer Shy, it's your turn.
All right, I'm here to capitalize this. I gotta say this. This was one of the top 5 premieres. I enjoyed the heck out of it. I'm a huge fan of like the entire villainy side of My Little Pony because I like to see all their backstories. I think them doing Sombra's like whole persona was executed perfectly, and even the main 6, finding a problem at the Crystal Kingdom, defeating it, and then coming back in. It was just great. I watched it numerous times. It was perfect. And the last scene, Discord had us tricked that time when when he fell for his step, because I felt like Discord was trying to play on the main 6 emotions, and that made them try to defeat King Sombra, and him dying was just like, it was the most craziest and epic thing. I'm really excited to see how this season turns out, because again, we got Grogar and we got the rest of the other villains, and I'm just really excited. Grogar really does remind me of Thanos, and I can't wait to see how this season plays out. I made a theory that I think some of the episodes we're going to be getting is like some of the villains that are going to be coming in, and it's going to be like this aligned trilogy until the last episode. I'm going to give this season premiere a 10 out of 10. It was
Wow.
excellent.
Ooh.
10 out of 10 from
Nice.
Drummer Shy. It's interesting
Take
so
that,
far. It's,
Draconite.
well,
Eat it!
no, it's not. Don't be like that. But all right,
I
Hojo.
love you too.
What'd you think, Hojo Kono?
Well, I love the season. Tell you the truth, this premiere, and especially compared to last season. Oh my goodness. But of all the gripes I had, they pretty much we talked about them and already, and I'll give the first one a 9, the second one an 8, so 8.5 out of 10.
All right, cool. 8.5. Jessica, it's your turn.
I'm just gonna say this right now. I was probably the only person when I first saw this
Jessica?
premiere. What?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I was the only person when I saw this premiere. I was the only one that actually cried when I thought Discord was gonna die. I was like saying to myself, "Don't die! Please don't kill off Discord, please." I was like I was like soaked in tears. But yeah, this premiere was amazing. I loved it way better than the one we had, the last premiere we had, season 8. Definitely better. Like, I know there was like a bunch of things happening at once, but I didn't really mind it as much because it is the last season, so we got to go all out or do nothing. And I love the concept of having Twilight and her friends become the next rulers of Equestria, even if it isn't happening right now. Obviously, they're gonna save this for the finale. But this was a great opener to a season. I hope that the rest of the season is gonna be as great as what we just saw. And yeah, just I'm happy for what the writers of this episode did. They did a great job, and I hope that they write more episodes this season, and I hope that they succeed. So I'm just gonna give this premiere probably a 9 out of 10. Loved it.
Sweet.
Hey, Jessica, I gotta ask you something after the call's over.
Uh-oh. All right, so it's my turn, but we're gonna skip over me, so I close things, and we're gonna jump to Sonic. Hopefully his microphone's working. Are you there, Sonic?
I should be here.
Yeah, I
Am
hear you.
good?
Go ahead.
All right, now I had to change off like my microphone stuff. It's not working well. Definitely a good start to the season. Like, I don't know if most of you know that last season that was not me. I hated most of it. It was like my lowest rated season ever. But honestly, when this is a strong start to like the final season. Like, we all mentioned things here and there. Like I agree. Like maybe like the battle with like Sombra and such like that could have been handled better. But there was like some good stuff in there with like Discord. Like I love Discord in this episode. He was really good in it. I wasn't really much a fan of Grogar at the start. Like, I don't know. I think it's just the design I wish could have been done better. But I don't know. Maybe we'll get something different with his. Maybe he has a final form or something like that in the season or later on. But honestly, it's a good start, and I'm like really excited to see where the season goes. So I'm gonna get this a 9 out of 10.
All right, sweet. Another 9 out of 10 from Sonic. Tootsie, do you have a rant for us, or do you actually like this one for a change?
Tootsie's rant.
Everything I've had a problem with this episode was already explained at the beginning. Other than it just being, I don't know, convoluted. That was it. That was my
you want to
main problem
expound
with
though?
it. I mean, I don't really care when I understand. Like, I can give this episode a pass for it just because it's the final season. Yes, I get that, but it's still kind of annoying when it's just like, oh, we defeated all these guys. Oh, we did all this. Like, it just got annoying. Like, but yet I can give it a pass for that, so it's not really a rant when it comes to that part. I feel like the main problem I did have was just the stupid fake out death. I'm sorry, but I can't get attached, or don't hate me, Jessica, but I couldn't cry at that scene when literally just 2 seconds before he's dodging all this magic, like, meh, don't care, and just having a casual conversation with the main six. And then when he gets shot and he tries to fake us out, I'm just like, okay, yep, you definitely got me there, show. Yep, you're gonna do it. And nope, they didn't do it. I feel like the main problem I do have with it is that I wanted Twilight to rule Equestria. That would have been so cool, but at the end of the episode, that whole speech, I understand it had a purpose with giving Twilight her, like, what's the word for it? The strength that she needed to defeat Sombra, but it still was annoying when the princesses just said, oh yeah, we know you're not ready. Like, we'll do it when you are ready. It's like, what? And Discord's reaction to that, with Celestia saying that, was just pretty much my entire reaction. I don't know. I enjoyed the episode. It was nice. It was good. All the problems I have, I can easily just brush off just because it's like the final season. But I don't know if I'm biased towards that because we've been watching the show since like, what, season 1? So I don't know. I'll just give it like maybe a 7 out of 10.
7? That's
Ooh.
still pretty. That's pretty normal.
That's high.
Yeah, that is high.
Well, I don't
Kinda for
have
you.
many problems with it other than just that.
All right.
High
Oh,
for
the villain
you.
was kind of annoying too.
All right. So I suppose it's my turn. I'll wrap things up with my rating review sort of thing. Yeah, overall, I definitely like the episode. I do have those gripes, like it's a little contrived how they just had to get rid of the princesses with the vines, and the vines just paled in comparison compared to Sombra taking over. I don't know. That's a relatively small thing. It's a little nitpick, I guess you could say. Plot nitpick, at least. Other than that, there were some good jokes. I loved all the hilarious faces they had. We actually see Sombra getting a personality for a change, you know. And the Discord fake out thing, it negatively affected Tootsie, but actually, like I mentioned earlier, I had the opposite effect where I was kind of like secretly cheering, like, yeah, he's faking it, and I know he is, and it's my headcanon that he is, and I don't care what the show does, that's my headcanon. So when they actually did it, when he actually was revealed that he was faking at the end to teach them a lesson, it felt perfect to me. It felt like it was so in character, it was exactly what I wanted. So again, opposite of what Tootsie experienced, I suppose, but let me see any other notes here. No. So yeah. So I guess I like this episode a lot. You know, like my 5 would be like a meh episode. Anything lower than that's bad. Anything higher than that's good. So I really enjoyed this episode. I suppose I'll be giving it an 8 out of 10.
Yay, nice.
All right. Let's go ahead and calculate our average.
I understand why he did it, but it still was annoying.
Yeah. All right. So the average rating for Bullshit Livestream Reviews for the beginning of the end, parts 1 and 2, is a 7.9, which I guess we just make an 8. Woo! So yeah, 8 out of 10 for this one. Off to a great start. Season 9's upon us, everyone. We'll be doing these live reviews, hopefully every week. This one in particular is late, just because I was busy last Saturday. But anyway, hopefully from now on, we'll see you.
I bought a whole bunch of tissues. I should be ready.
Yeah,
oh, it's just the tissues, people. It's gonna get wild.
It is. It's gonna be a sad season.
I got my tissues. I got my tubs of ice cream, and I got the 1-800 suicide hotline.
No,
number
no, it's not funny. Don't say that.
Oh god. No. PG.
I got the song. All right, I'm also listening to the song. Does that help?
Yeah. All right. So thank you everyone for stopping by, and I hope to see you next time. Again, see you next week. So goodbye, everyone.
Bye.